biggest sporting news of the day. Bafana Bafana coach Stuart Baxter has named a 30-man squad for the 32nd edition of the Afcon 29 tournament. Now, for a closer look and analysis at the players who got chosen, we're joined live in studio by my colleague Tshepo Thobane, a.k.a. TT. Now, firstly, afternoon, welcome back. What do you make of the squad overall? What jumped out at you?
Hello, Sandile. Overall, I mean, it's not a bad squad. It's a good enough squad to go out at AFCON and represent the country very well. But I've got question marks, especially if you look at the defenders. There's no Thapelo Morena of Mamelodi Sundowns. There's no Tebogo Langeman of Mamelodi Sundowns. In fact, there's only Cardoso and Ramahlon Pachel at Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, what are they doing in the national team? Anyway, it's a question that Stuart Baxter will answer. But let's look at the other players that are in the squad. Here's a player, Nicola Tavares. I mean, he's South African born in Cape Town. He plays for Crystal Palace. Even though he's not playing for the senior national or the senior team there, he's playing for the under-23s, and he captained the under-23s. He's a good prospect. We have not seen much about him, but he's a player that Stuart Baxter wants to see going to AFCON. In fact, the only issue now is the passport situation, because Tavares has his Croatian. He's Croatian. He's played for the Croatian national team at junior level, but he's yet to make the senior team in Croatia. So that makes him eligible to play for Bafana Bafana. Hopefully, by the end of today, we will be able to, or Stuart Baxter will be able to sort out his passport situation.
I'm pretty sure a lot of South Africans are asking themselves, who is Nicola Tavares? Now, just in terms of the players you mentioned Thapelo Morena, you mentioned Langeman also. Who else has missed out in terms of being selected for this squad?
I mean, there's a couple of players that I think they deserved to be part of this national team. But, you know, what's interesting is that Stuart Baxter says it's unfortunate that he cannot call everyone. I mean, you look at the likes of your Aubrey Mudiba, who's been doing very well at Supersport from the junior national teams at Supersport United. He's a player, he's a good prospect for the future, but he's not in the mix, so it's quite surprising. But Stuart Baxter says, I mean, the players that he believes in them. He believes that they will represent the country very well. We will see. I mean, this is a big tournament, AFCON. It does not get better than that. We'll see if the players, and remember, he's chosen 30 players. He still has to cut down to 23. So maybe the likes of your Rama, and I'll be surprised, honestly, to see Rama going to AFCON. I mean, Cardoso. I'll be very, very surprised to see them going there.
Another major talking point is the inclusion of Kermit Erasmus up front. Now, obviously, Barker did elaborate at the press conference. He said, listen, previously he thought that the player Kermit Erasmus wasn't a team player, his attitude was wrong, spoke to Benny McCarthy. McCarthy's now assured him that, listen, things are coming right. What is your overall view of Kermit Erasmus being in the squad?
It's very interesting, Sandile. I mean, well, when he answered, he said, that is Stuart Baxter, he said that, you know what, I know Kermit Erasmus as a player, he's a player that wants to be in the starting 11. But in the national team, he called him, there's no favors. He has to work like everyone else. No one, in fact, he does not have a guaranteed starting 11. So that's the first step to go. Whether Kermit Erasmus is going to be able to allow that to happen or go by those rules is another story. But in terms of our strikers, I think we've got very, very good strikers. Lebu Mutiba, Erasmus in the mix there.
Percy Tau.
I mean, it's a good squad when you look at the front line, and especially also you look at the midfielders. In fact, I think the midfielders are our strongest department.
Okay, 100%. That's the man with his finger on the pulse of everything football. Our football insider, a.k.a. TE, Tshepo Thobane, breaking down the AFCON squad. 30-man AFCON squad, I should say, chosen early in the day by Stuart Baxter to represent us at the AFCON 2019 competition in Egypt. It's a big day for South African football, as you would have noticed. Coach Stuart Baxter announcing, of course, that squad a little earlier. Now the team will face the continent's best sides at the AFCON, and they will be rather, in Group D. Now, we have heard from Baxter, but the question now becomes, what do you as the viewer think of that squad? Can we compete with Africa's best and indeed get out of our group, which includes Ivory Coast, Morocco and Namibia in Group D? Now, who would you choose if you were calling the shots as the coach? Cast your vote in that online poll, and you'll find all of those details on our website, which is, of course, eNCA.com. Now, those results will be updated minute by minute on our website. And, of course, we'll have the final numbers at around 6 o'clock later on this evening for you. That's where we leave it at that debate in terms of the squad that was chosen to represent South Africa at the AFCON 2019 tournament. Now, time to take a quick look at your weather with Annette.